Gotcha.
All right, guys, we're going to get started. So, foam rolling. For you guys that don't know anything about it, I'll give it a little bit of an introduction. So this is what your muscle is, okay? So most people's muscles are all knotted up like this. Okay, so all knotted up. Now when it's all knotted up, then that restricts your range of motion. Okay, so that will prevent you from going into a deeper squat or a deeper lunge. Does that make sense to you guys? So foam rolling will help loosen up, and so that we can make sure that we're nice and loose and flexible in terms of our muscles, so that we can go into those deeper lunges, deeper squats. And we're not restricted, it's not tight. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, as we're working out more, we're building muscle, because the process is, you guys get sore muscles when you work out, right? What's happening is you're tearing down muscle tissues. And what's happening is those tissues need to keep repairing themselves. While they repair, they are just constantly repairing, and as they repair, they start like connecting to each other. And they need to be able to move. Okay? If they're being fused together, they're not moving, and that could cause that tightness, those knots, or those injuries that could happen when you're aggressively working out like you guys are. So foam rolling, like I've been doing it, athletes do it on a regular basis. It's kind of becoming a little bit more popular now to the general public, which, like, who hasn't heard of foam rolling before? You guys saw it in here. Okay, so a few of you guys. So this is really going to be good. When I'm doing foam rolling daily, like you guys should be doing daily stretching. Okay? Most people don't do that. You can ask your physiotherapist, you can ask your chiropractor, anyone in the healthcare field, you should be doing stretching, and you can prevent a lot of chiropractor visits and physiotherapist visits, even massage, if you are doing this daily. Okay? So we call this the cheap man's massage, or the Dutchman's massage, I like to call it, because you can do it daily. I'm not saying that you're replacing your regular massages, but it's something that you can do daily on top of your monthly massages or whatever, your chiropractors, okay? So I find I prevent a lot of injuries with this, because it's helping loosening up those muscles and keeping everything flexible. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys as to what's actually going on in the body? Yeah? Okay, cool. So everyone actually, I'm going to hand out these, but everyone needs one of these yellow sheets, so if you just want to take one and pass it around. So this is your cheat sheet. This is what you guys will very quickly know your routine as to what you're supposed to do when you're foam rolling, but this is something that you can use for the first few sessions to know what you're actually supposed to be doing. So does anyone have any questions before we get right into it? So as long as you actually know what's going on in your body and the importance of it, that's really something that I really want to get across to you guys. And most of you probably saw the video between Trish, the chiropractor, and myself. You guys all watched that on my Facebook? Okay, well check out my Facebook or my YouTube channel, because she explains her point of view as a chiropractor, which, you know, I know the point of view in terms of a personal trainer, but it's good to have another view as well, just to make sure you guys know I'm not full of shit. So, okay? Oh, I'm not good at that. What? Horse manure. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go right through the body. You guys can ask any questions as you want while you get through. And this is something you guys can be doing daily. Alright, so starting off with your first exercise on the top of the sheet, we're going to start off with our lower body, so bottom of the foot. For our plantar fasciitis people, okay? So you're going to step on your tennis ball. So as we're just rolling literally, you're just going to stand on it. You can lean against the wall if you need to, and you're just going to roll right on top of it from the front to the back. Did your chiropractor physio tell you to do this when you had plantar fasciitis? No? Okay. Mine did for flat. Okay. It's really going to be good to loosen up those tendons if you ever get achy in there. Yeah. Yeah. So nice roll. So trigger points, and that's where you're going to want to stick on a little bit more. Okay, so that's how you know how long to do it. That's a common question I get, is as we go through the body and as you keep practicing over the next month or so, you'll find those trigger points pretty dang quick, and you'll just sit on those for a bit longer. Those are your high, we call them trigger points, tension points, whatever. Okay, so bottom of the foot. As you can see, I have a white ball. This is a lacrosse ball. It is your level 2. So tennis ball is a level 1. Lacrosse ball is a level 2. You can also do a golf ball. There's much fancier stuff on the market that are actually meant for this. I like to do practical stuff. Canadian Tire, $3.99. Tennis ball, most people have a girl tennis, okay? Then you have the different densities of the foam rollers. So you have white ones, you have a lighter blue, you have really high intensity where you'll see like a darker dark blue, or you'll see a black, that's a high density, and then you'll see like a rumbler. Okay? A weapon. A weapon. Something you should be putting on your arms and going. Okay, so we are doing the bottom of the foot. How's that go, guys? Yeah, I know, right? So what's happening is you can get a lot of tension on the bottom of the foot just by how your feet are. If you run a lot, it could be for any different reasons, really. So doing this is awesome just to loosen up that tendon and to prevent plantar fasciitis, because that's common. Okay, then we are going to get right down into the dirty. So you guys can get down on the ground. We are going to start off with a calf. So I try to do it very common terms. There's many fancy, actual muscular terms to this, the actual proper names. But we're going to go from the upper calf. We're going to do the lower calf and the Achilles tendon. But I want you to split it up into those. So you massage the upper calf, up and down. Once you do those a few swipes, you go to the middle calf, up and down, then you head down to the Achilles tendon. You always want to try to start near the middle of the body and you're working your way down. Okay, so you have to support yourself a little bit here. So I'm going to sit right on the top calf, okay? And I want to make sure that I just lift myself up a little bit, and I don't want to go behind the knee. I'm just slightly massaging, up and down. Once I do it a few strips, whatever, you're going to go to the middle a few times, and then you can get right down into the Achilles tendon. Okay, not a lot of pressure, but you can also, if you're not feeling a lot, then what's happening is you can head towards your tennis ball or your higher density ball. And that's, again, where you're going to be able to really dig into those muscles a lot better because it's a smaller diameter, okay? So I can just roll right on the ball. And you can really find out to get right into those spots, okay? Questions about that? So remember, top, and then middle, and then lower. Don't try to do the whole thing because it's really awkward that I have to walk all the way back, okay? And that's going to be for your legs and your hamstrings too. Do small strips, then work your way down, okay? All right, then we are going to move on. I'm just going to go through it so you guys know the exercises. You can go home and practice it. It's pretty straightforward. Really, it will let me show you what you're supposed to be doing. So you're going to go to your shin and also your perineal stretch. Okay, so this is your shin splint, people. Okay? So you're just going to jump right onto the foam roller. Okay? You're just going to roll up and down. Okay? Now the shin is, obviously there's a bone in there. Okay? So first do the front of the shin. Okay? So that's your shin. Your perineals are on the outside. Okay? So I'm turning a bit. Now, you can do that. That's your level 1. Otherwise, because the shin's in the way, you can't get quite as an aggressive of a roll. That's where you get your tennis ball and you can really avoid the bone and really dig right in there. Okay? You can find that spot and dig your little suit. Okay, so you're avoiding the actual shin bone and you're trying to get right in that shin muscle. Okay? So again, if you guys are wondering how long you're supposed to be doing it for the first few times so you get the hang of it, do 30 seconds. Do You know, or if you don't have a cloth, do like 10 swipes or something like that. Unless it's really, really tender, just get right into it, okay? It's not gonna, and you're gonna have a lot of the runners, this is gonna be heaven for you guys. This is gonna be your savior. The IT band, this is a number one for the runners, okay? You'll often hear this is tight for them. This is why we don't run. Right, John? Okay? So, the IT band is the outside, okay? Going from your hip to down to your knee. Now, you never want to roll right on bones, okay? So I'm starting in the middle of the body, right underneath. I'm just going to do it so you guys can see how my feet are placed. So I have one foot supporting myself, and then the leg that's actually getting massaged, I have it straight. And then, again, I'm just going to do small swipes. So I'm going to go from just underneath my hip bone to halfway. I'll do that a few times. And then I'll move down a bit and go from hip halfway to the thigh, all the way to just above the knee. Again, not rolling on the knee or the hip. So the people that don't work out a lot, they might not have these tense muscles. But personally, I would rather work out and have tense muscles because we're aggravating these muscles. We're tightening them up. So that's why the general public might not need to do this as much. But as we work out, we're tightening up those muscles. Okay, so that's what's going on. You doing here? All right. So that activity is really important, guys. That's the number one you want to put into your foam rolling. Okay, we're going to move on to TFL, anterior, gluteus, medius, and minimus. Okay, so in other words, your front and middle of your hip. So your hip flexors. Okay, your layman's terms. Okay, so what you're going to do is go to the edge of your foam roller. Again, not on any bone, so I'm just beneath my hip bone. And I'm just going to roll up and down the front. And then I'm going to slightly turn a little bit after I've done the front, slightly outwards a bit. Again, I'm not on the IT band, or I'll completely turn laterally, but I'm kind of angled. Start on the front. We had a Kincardine client that she was having a lot of issues with her hip flexor, and same with Dawn too. You were having a lot of, and I showed you how to do it. You're like, oh, this is so much better. And same with her, because she couldn't get into the physio for 2 weeks. And it helped her. She could actually keep working out, and she noticed a big, big difference. So what's happening, you have this knotted muscle, and this is trying to release that tension. Okay? So I have one leg on the side. So for example, my left leg is to the side, and I'm currently massaging my right hip flexor. And then I angle slightly to get out. So some people might ask what's the difference between the long foam roller and the short one? There really isn't. It's just a different length. I prefer then you can just roll around from one end to the other. You can also, when we get to our quads, I can do both of them at the same time. If you guys want to have it, move it around or travel around with it, cut it in half and do that too. It doesn't really matter. Okay? So that is your TFL, anterior, gluteus, medius, and minimus. And now we're going to move on to our quads. So our lateral. We're going to start off with the lateral. Let's start off with the front because the front is the easiest, okay? So I'm literally standing, like push-up position. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to move up, okay? So these, can be split up into half. So you go from the top, so by your hips to the mid, do a few strikes, and then from the mid to the on top of the knee, okay? So that's your front. Next, I'm going to move to my medialis because I can stay in the same position. Medialis means that you are going to angle your toes outwards. You guys all see that? And then I'm going to roll up it. My knees and my toes outwards. I can really fire the inside there. You notice how the... Yeah. So again, don't try to do the whole quad. Split it up into sections, guys. Okay? And then you can hit the lateral. So note again. This is where I start at the front and slightly angled out a bit, okay? This one. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you have front and then just slightly angled. So you're not completely sideways, just slightly middle, between sideways and front on that magic spot. Okay, you guys notice, so the front, and then you find your medialis and your lateral, and then the tibialis all the way on the other side. You're learning a little bit of anatomy as you go on. Okay. We okay? Everyone's still living a little bit? I'm going to have to maybe pick up the sound effects on this video. Oh, yeah! Wait for that. Okay, we're going to move on to the piriformis or glute stretch. Now, this is a common one that I know for a fact you're going to find a lot of chiropractors. This gets tight. People that sit all day, what's happening is you're sitting like this all day. Your hips are used to those muscles being sitting like that until they get tightened up. So when we exercise or when we're standing up and force them into a different position, what's happening is it's like rebelling. It's like, screw you, like I'm used to being in this position. I don't like to go all over the place straight up, right? So what's happening is the piriformis, anything in your hips really tighten up because you're used to sitting all day. When you're standing, you're not. Does that make sense? Okay. So mostly people are sitting, so that's why it's a big concern right now. So both legs straight. Throw one leg over like this. Okay? Are you guys ready? I'm going to slightly angle to one hand. And I'm just going to roll up and down on that glute.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
This one's a goodie. So I'm not completely sideways because I don't want to be on my hip bone, but I'm angled in that pocket. And you're going to feel it. You should feel it.
It's amazing, MJ.
So again,
Amazing.
as you progress, this can be a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball exercise.
Oh, yeah.
You guys all feel that? So I'm not going too high up. I don't want to hit bones. And then I'm pretty much going from the, just a bone where I feel in the back up to my tailbone. Okay? Just roll around. Really, there's no special thing to this.
You fall off well.
It's just finding that spot and just massaging it until you can break those tissues up. And it's important to remember too that when tissues are all locked up, there's no blood flow. So this is helping your blood flow too. Okay?
Will it stop hurting after one session?
No. It's like massage. I've never done a massage and she's like, oh my gosh, those knots are still there. She's like, it's a process, or he or she, or whatever. It's a process like it's
So we're going to roll it till it stops.
No, I don't, like, it will get a heck of a lot easier, but it's not going to be done after one session. It's going to be, like daily stretching. It's just going to prevent injuries and
What if something's not bothering you, something wrong?
you can do them, but I would be doing them a heck of a lot quicker over those spots. Okay? Alright, so moving to hamstrings. Now, you have this option foam roller. You also have, this one's I find it a most awkward exercise on this one. I really can't get it fired up too much on the foam roller, just from the pressure. You can stack your feet for any of the one-legged exercises that we have done. The quads, whatever you want. You'll get a little bit more to it. Again, like I said, you can use the tennis ball or the cross ball. This is called the stick. Okay? It's definitely worth your money for anyone that runs or is really active. It's about $50 on Amazon or wherever on the internet. This is the money. I'm not putting any pressure on my leg, and I'm just massaging the hamstring. It's good for bigger muscles that you can't really get the foam roller going at it. And I'm just massaging the quads and the hamstrings quickly that way. So you guys can try this later on if you want. Okay? You guys feel that? So again, if you want to increase feet, or use your roll, your tennis ball or your lacrosse ball. Okay, so then we are going to move on to the last one, which is your adductors. So you actually have to put your foam roller lengthwise here. And this is not going to look graceful by any means, but I'm straddling the foam roller. And I'm going to go from the inside and work my way down towards the knee. Okay? So it's just going like this. Quite tender. Starting from the pelvis and just going towards the knee. Okay? So I'm going right down your groin. Okay? This screw should not be by your camera. Okay, from the inner side. Honestly, it's a great body like that or something.
I'm just seeing your hair going.
Okay, so from the in, and then straight all the way out. Just grab one of those. Okay? So you can try both of those. You guys doing good over there? You feel that? Okay, so this is for your groin stretch. Starting on the inner part and then working your way down to the knee. Okay, questions so far? Super. Grab your tennis balls and you're going to find a spot on the wall. Now note, this is drywall and I find it does not work very well for a slippery wall. I really like the brick. So just think about spots that would work in your own house, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and then when you're doing it at home or here after a workout, I use the brick, okay? So starting off with the pecs, okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to stick your ball right in the pec muscle. So remember when you usually do push-ups and you feel it the next day, like right in here? That's exactly where you're going to try to put it. So you're going to go right against the wall, and you're just going to literally just roll, stick your chest against.
Oh, yeah.
Have your arms straight. Or if you're on something really slippery, you can use your other hand to hold it. And you're just going to roll sideways along the wall. And the ball should stay stationary. Stand is in the best spot. Because I want you to do it the other day. Yeah, no. And you can tell I was like comfortable. You're scratching your boob on the ground. So you're just, it's a short muscle, but you should feel it right along that chest muscle. So these are for your pecs. Just sit it in that pocket. You're going to do it daily? I know, right? That's what I'm talking about, people. You guys feel that? Yeah. Yeah. If you feel it, always try to think on a scale of 1 to 10 how intense it is. If it's 5 and up, that's the spot that you want to readdress the next day. Okay? Yeah, man. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. You actually can stay against the wall because I'm going to just get you to do the second last one while we're against the wall. Back on shoulders. Okay, so this is really where I can feel it. Like this is where all my tension is. Okay? So right, you'll find those pockets where you're always like, can someone like find that knot and like kill it? You're going to put that ball right there. So it's usually in those pockets around the shoulder blades. You're going to stick the tennis ball there and you're just going to roll around. And just dig as hard as you're comfortable with.
Oh yeah.
You never want to have it too intense because what's going to happen is your muscles will they'll just be too much, okay? It'll be too much. So not too intense, but you want to feel it and give it and just push against it as much as you can handle. Do you guys feel the knots?
Oh yeah. That does feel good.
So you don't want to overstimulate it. That's why we don't want to do it any more than like 30 seconds for those really pressure points. So max 30 seconds and then just go on to the next one. Even if it is really tender, you don't want to overstimulate it. Okay? So next we're going to move on to the lat stretch. You're going to get down on your foam roller again. You're going to lay on your side for the lat stretch and put the foam roller in your armpit. sit down, so I'm lifting my hips up off the ground.
I thought this was supposed to relieve that.
Or today, with those stinking lats. Phrases. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. You don't have to lift
I lift my hip and I use my other hand to kind of support, because, well, I just find I can move a little bit down with my hip off the ground. Then you can move over the other side. You guys feel that answer for those noises? Yeah. While you're in that same spot, once you're done with the lats, you can move right into the triceps. So you're going to roll right up here to the triceps. We actually work those today. So the lat is from the elbow, the armpit and down. Okay? The tricep is the back of the arm. So from the armpit and up. Okay? So lat stretch is from the armpit down. Tricep stretch is from the armpit up, back of the arm. How you doing over there? Perfect. Rumbler.
Yeah, you got a rumble down there. I would think it would.
Feeling good? Feeling good? Okay. So we've now completed the chest, the lat stretch, and the triceps. We're going to go on to the back muscles or the thoracic spine. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to lie on your back on the foam roller. Okay, this is your one. And then, so I'm going to start in the middle of my back. I'm going to set feet flat on the ground. I'm going to bring my arms up and make sure that you close those elbows in. Because what's happening is I'm opening up my shoulder blades so I can get in those knots. Okay, so make sure you do that. And anyone that has long hair, watch your hair is going to get rolled up. Okay, so I'm bringing my elbows together, and start in the middle of the back, and I'm rolling my way up. Okay, rolling my way up and then back to the middle of the back. That's good. So again, this is going to help those finger muscles, and then any of those deep knots. That's where you're going to get that tennis ball in the little pockets, because it's got a smaller diameter. So make sure those elbows are nice and tight in. Close in those elbows right towards the face, so you can open up the shoulder blades. Okay? How's that feel, guys?
That's what I'm doing.
So how much do you guys usually pay for a massage? Because $29? What? Rhomboids. Okay, foam roller goes lengthwise. You lay on the foam roller. Okay? So you don't want to be right on your spine. I'm slightly to the side of my spine. Again, opening up my shoulder blades, so I'm bringing my elbows towards my face. If you really need to balance yourself, you can, but preferably not. Going from the spine and slightly away from the spine. So from just off the spine to away from the spine. Okay, these are just those little muscles right along the spine called the rhomboids. So we don't want to roll on the spine, but when we're done about 10 strips on one side, we can just shift over and then go from the spine away from the spine again.
Oops.
How's that feeling, guys? I don't have very many questions, yeah? That's good. Take your time. flexors and extensors, so grab your tennis ball. So this is for those typers all the time, okay? I'm just going to relax my hand and I'm rolling up along those muscles on, and I'm pushing pretty good, okay? Well, push as hard as you want, yeah. You can create as much intensity as you want. For your wrist flexors and your extensors are going to be, so you do both sides, okay? Yeah. And piano players. And the harmonica. That's right. For cards? Oh, reaches here. Right along here. I can find it right along the outside here. Doing circles. All right. You guys have any questions?
So you're saying daily?
Yeah, I would suggest daily. Like I do daily. I'm just going to turn this off. So what's happening is Dana asked the same thing. Like